Okay, all right. Thanks for joining me, you guys, and for joining us. And I'm looking forward to sharing, some of this exciting things that we've been a part of for almost 13 years now. Before I go into the compensation plan, because that's really what we're going to focus on, and I want you guys to ask any questions, any input as we're going along, any clarifying, comments, because I really want this to come across as what it really and truly is. And this is because Wendy, you've asked this question from the perspective that you're looking at. Asking the question has really created this. And I practiced it for the first time today on a Zoom. And there are people who have been in isogenics for a long time who said, oh my gosh, I've never seen it like that. I've actually learned things. And so I'm excited to be able to share with you. But I always want to start off with, what is it that I'm really passionate about? It's not the money. If you go after money, you'll just keep chasing it. You've got to add value to people's lives. And so I want to start with my story and share with you what happened to me. And it sucked me into this business because the value was so great in my life. And one of our founders, Jim Coover, says, when you are grateful for something, you share. And when you share with another person because you shared and you impact their life dramatically, there's not too many other joys that are better than that. And so that's what's kept us going for almost 13 years now. We're more excited today than we've ever been. So let me jump into the story, and then we'll jump right into the compensation plan. All right, so this was me back in 2005. I was a mechanic for about 15 years. And I had wrestled. I took second place in wrestling in California as a junior. So I knew what it was like to be fit and to exercise and just eat really extreme. And that's what I was doing right here for probably about the third time in my life. And I was as far away from my physical me as you could possibly be. I mean, I wore a shirt in the swimming pool. I wore a shirt in the water at the beach because I just didn't want people to see me. I was so embarrassed because mentally I was still the wrestler, but physically I was about as far away from that as you could be. So it was at this time that this picture right here was right before I started on isogenics. And what I was doing at that time was I was eating salad with lemon squeezed over it. I was eating oatmeal with just hot water in it and tuna right out of a can. I had eliminated all the junk food, Snickers bars, which I loved and ate every day, soda, coffee. I eliminated it all. And I would supplement as well. I was a supplement junkie. And I tried to get Carrie to drink these shakes, and she just hated them. But this is basically the regimen that I was on eating-wise. I was riding my bike to work and back in St. George, Utah, where it was 110 degrees in the summer. It was 110 yesterday. And it was 100 miles every 5 days I was putting on my bike. And you can see the farmer's stand. I was running stadiums at Dixie College, up and down the football stadium stairs, and I was working out as well. It wasn't working. And I had been doing that for about 2 months right here. And I released 6 pounds right in the beginning, but then it completely stopped. And now at this point, I'm tired, hungry, and frustrated like most people get. And then Carrie found these products at an expo. And she started talking to the people about, they pulled her in and they started telling her about it. And she was really excited because they were sharing their own stories. And one other thing that I might share, just be a little personal here, why I'm so grateful for what these products did. I was praying for God to take my life or help me to find a solution. I was struggling every single day. I resorted to stimulants because they would help me get through the day. But man, I was like, it was a struggle every day just to get through it. And in case God was going to take my life that day, I had disengaged the safety mechanism on the lift where you can raise a car up. So every time I got under it, God could take my life if he was going to, see fit to put me out of my misery. And the reason why I was praying for that or help me find a solution was because I knew when I die and go to heaven, there's no way I'm going to feel like this. I'm going to feel so much better. Or I'll take the solution, but I don't know what it is. I've tried everything. So when Carrie found these products, she's all, this is the answer to our prayers. And she dragged me over, put me in front of the booth, and all I heard was Charlie Brown's school teacher. Wah, 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 wah. I was so skeptical. I was, I felt like I was being sold, but I wasn't even listening to what the guy was saying. I interrupted. I said, it sounds great. If I want to do it, I'll take your card and I'll call you, which I threw his card away. But so grateful that Carrie entered a drawing and she won the products from the company. And the guy, as he, and he called us on Monday, he said, yeah, you won the products, no strings attached. And then as I was, we said, yeah, come on over. We'll try it. No strings attached. It's free. Right. So, as I was explaining to him what was going on in my life, he said, look, you're exercising like an extreme athlete, and over 80% of your results comes from nutrition. And our nutrition is is packaged together where it's addressing everything. And so let me just prove it to you by not exercising for your first month. And so he said, no, I don't tell people to do that, but I want you to see what this nutrition will do. And then you can exercise as much as you want. 25 days, I released 27 pounds. My energy shot through the roof. I have not had a coffee, a Rockstar energy drink, no soda for almost 13 years now. I've only had 3 Snickers bars in almost 13 years. I used to have them every day. So something changed, and I knew it was because of these products, and they tasted way better than raw tuna or tuna right out of a can. So I've just never gone away from it. And Carrie said, you know, in the first week, she got her husband back. And I stayed on the product, started exercising. This is 4.5 months from that first picture. It took me back to my senior high school wrestling weight. And then right here in the third picture, I wasn't working out as hard as I was right here in the first picture. So what I knew was this was the catalyst that caused all of that. And I loved how it tasted. We were saving money just in Rockstars alone. And I felt so much better. And I got enthusiasm for life back just because I felt so good. Even as a mechanic, I got my enthusiasm back. I looked forward to going to work because I felt great. And then a new technology and breakthrough in telomere research and partnering up with a geneticist who I was actually mentored by, this product came out, added to what I was already doing here, and it took me back to my junior in high school wrestling weight. I just turned 50 this week, and I feel better than I did when I was 16 when I was wrestling. So I really like to hold the magnifying glass over the science of what that is, and I'm not going to do that here because we're going to go right into the compensation plan and what really sets it apart. But really, Isagenix, I call it a divinely inspired company because of the freedom and limitless possibilities that there are both with our health and with our wealth. There's no cap on anything. So it's whatever you're ready to start receiving in your life. But I do love talking about the science. When I do presentations, it's mostly about what it's going to do for people's health. And then everything else just kind of is a no-brainer after that. If you're interested in the business, you just realize, well, this is a great way because people are getting the results. Mm-hmm. Now, I really want to go into the compensation plan. But before I do, I want to give Carrie an opportunity to just say a few things about, you know, this transformation and what it's meant for us and our family.
Go, Carrie.
Well, you know what? There's not one area of my life personally that has not been transformed by Isagenix, by that decision that I made to talk to people in a booth who I didn't feel well enough to have the energy to talk to their energy, honestly, but to get them to be quiet. But no, I felt something, and I'm so grateful that I did. And, you know, Dave said no in the beginning just because he was so tired of trying things and having them not fail or not work. I mean, and for me to take the belief of the people that were next to me, people that I didn't know, but they had real stories. They had real photos of themselves, not a poster person that I never would meet. I didn't even know, if they were real or not. I had the look on their face in the pictures. I had their stories, and then I could see their countenance, and I could see the change. And I didn't know I didn't feel good until I saw their pictures and heard their stories. And I'm like, wow, you are describing me right now. So if Dave doesn't want it, I do. And I filled out the thing, and it was such a blessing that we were able to be the winners of that product, because we weren't at a position where we felt comfortable to spend any extra money in any area. I mean, we were scraping to get by. I mean, we had more month at the end of every money, and it was really scary. So to be able to win it for free was a blessing. And at that point, we've never looked back. When I heard my husband's energy over the phone, he called me one day and he's like, "Do you feel that?" And I was like, oh my gosh, what just happened? And Angel started singing, and it's been so incredible. But it was been help, it's been attitude, it's been the world brightened up. Like, there was way more available in the life that we were already living than we even could see in front of our faces, because we were so focused on just getting by, just surviving. And then financially, I still remember the morning that I woke up and I didn't have a stomach ache anymore. My shoulders were relaxed, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not stressed. How come? And I remember thinking it's because I don't have to think about money. I haven't thought about money in weeks. And it's just, I went to the store and I had to buy an outfit to wear to an event, and I didn't even look at the price tag. And I walked out and went, wow, I don't even know how much money I spent. And it was the coolest feeling ever. And it's just continued to get better and better. But what's even more fun is to be able to watch it happen over and over and over again in the lives of thousands of people that have become our best friends and, family, and to be able to present it and share it with people, because there's so much more to life than most people are aware of, because it's such a drudgery every day to just go from one thing to the next, check off the to-do list, go to bed, and get up and do it again. And I know that people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm just really excited to be able to have Dave introduce the compensation plan, the simplicity of it, and the power of it. And yeah, I'm gonna mute out.
Yeah. And it's a lifestyle. It looks like a diet here, but it's not a diet. We've been doing it for almost 13 years now. And how many people have these kind of results, but then maintain that for 13 years? And it's like a lifestyle we enjoy. We still get to live our lives. So with that being said, let's jump into the compensation plan. And at this point, so in August, it'll be 13 years. We're coming up on $10 million in the company, which just blows my mind. I just, what a blessing that has been. But it's been a result of helping and adding value to people's lives. But I want to explain how this compensation plan leverages your entire organization and on the level that Isagenix has done that. And I just want to say a couple things about Kathy and Jim Coover and John Anderson. They have no exit strategy. This is something that they feel like they were born to do. This is their baby. They're not going anywhere. They came up with a motto: if it's not right for the customers and associates, it's not right for the company, which really is kind of backwards thinking when you think about corporations, where it's all about the bottom line and at the expense of the employees. It's the exact opposite. And like I said, we've been with them for 13 years. I've even served on the advisory boards for the field for 2 years. And they listen to us and they make decisions, and they may have made a decision. They check in with us and we're like, no, that is not going to work. That's not okay. And they listen to us and they scrap it. So Kathy was a networker, and she started out as a dental hygienist, Wendy. I mean, you're going to love meeting Kathy. And her husband talked her into networking because she was so dynamic and people loved her. And she said, you're an influencer. Or he said, you're an influencer. And so she started networking. She rose to the top of 3 companies. And every one of those companies pulled the rug out from under her. And she got so frustrated after the 3rd company, they did a compensation plan enhancement. And she was making over $30,000, and it went down to $8,000 with no warning. And so she said, that's it. They had made millions in the industry. Her husband was a very successful entrepreneur and businessman. And so they retired. And when John Anderson said, I want to make products that are literally going to impact people's lives that no other companies ever let me make them for, he was a private label manufacturer. He formulated for over 600 companies, and they all compromised the products. So when they saw the vision of John Anderson, they said, yes, we want to do this with you, and we want to impact people's lives. We want to create more 6- and 7-figure income earners than any other company in history. And they came up with that motto. And Kathy, that's her drive. She says, I know what it's like to put your life into something and then have it all taken away from you. And she says, I can't even express the feeling that comes across when Kathy talks about that. And fortunately for us, this is really, Isagenix has really been such a blessing for us that I haven't had to experience that really. So what else do I want to say about that? Just that's their drive and their passion. They realize they wanted to create a place that the networker could call home. And again, if it's not right for the associate, then it's not right for the company. So they did create a place that the networker could call home. And there's so many out there that have experienced what Kathy did, who find Isagenix, they go right to the top, and they're like, Dave, you have no idea what this company has created. And so what I want to try and get across is the leverage that comes through the compensation plan that is supporting individuals that come in today. It's like we've been talking about with Wendy, is that Isagenix is just getting started. We just barely hit our first billion in 1 year. They're talking about going to 3 billion in the next 3 years. And we created 267 millionaires and I don't know how many multiple 6-figure income earners. But
what millionaires are you guys?
The 69th millionaires. And they just announced the 267th Thursday. 2 in 1 week, actually.
Oh my God.
They're adding millionaires all the time. Like whenever anybody says, how many millionaires are, I have to like look it up because I'm like, I don't know. They probably announced another one this week and they usually, announce 2 or 3. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's just at the beginning of momentum. And you were wondering, you mentioned, Dave, people sometimes wonder, is it too late or, is it saturated because it's a 16-year-old company. The thing is, we're only in 0.05% of the homes in just the United States. We're still growing every year by about 50% or more in the United States.
Yeah.
And it's really, we're just getting started, which is so exciting. And then the other thing I wanted to say about Kathy Cooper, because I know that I felt like, wow, wouldn't it be cool to have been able to start when she did, young and have all of this life ahead of her. And then she tells us that she was 42 when she started even being a network marketer. And they told her that she would suck at it, that she'd never make it. And she was afraid of talking to people, and she was afraid of explaining a compensation plan. And now she's just like so powerful. She rose to the top of 3 companies starting at age 42. So it's not too late. And the number 1 income earner of all time in Isagenix was 72 when he started. So it's never too late. And most companies don't continue to grow in their home company after 16 years, but we're just really getting started. So it's like entering in momentum right at the beginning of momentum is a very exciting place to be because the hard work's already been done, the path has already been paved, and now it's just time to run. And anybody that gets in now is seriously, it's an exciting time to be an Isagenix. So,
yeah, when you have a product that sustains the growth and keeps it, momentum could be going on for 15 years. We're only in 0.5% of homes, not even 1% in the US. We're still growing double digits every year right here in the US. That's unprecedented with the amount of income that we're making on a yearly basis. So let's go into this compensation plan. There's different ways to be compensated. One of them is the passive residual and the leverage. So we get paid weekly. So that's going to be the passive income that's coming in from products being ordered. And that's what I'm going to address here. I'm not even going to go into the bonuses in this presentation. We'll do that in another one so we could break it up a little bit. But there's a few things that you need to know about the compensation plan so that this will make sense. A qualified order is what we call 100 BV. That stands for business volume. That's a qualified order. It's so low that the average customer usually orders 100 BV plus. So there's no inventory, there's no selling, there's not these large upfront costs that you're going to be incurring every month. 100 BV, like let me grab this product here. This is the one that I showed in the slide with the pictures. It's called Isogenesis. This is enough for me for 1 month. This is 54 BV. So I'll never go without this. So this is just for me, not even including the shakes and other things that I won't go without. If I was just ordering this and Carrie was just ordering this, we would be at the 100 BV. And that's just one product that's very essential to me. It's literally turning back the clock. I mean, I'm riding motocross and I'm outperforming teenagers, right? So there's something to that. Now, so 100 BV, and we're going to get paid on the BV. So it's not going to be through sales. It's going to be through enrolling customers. And they're just going to order their own product for personal use. Do you know that 86% of people in Isagenix are just customers? 86%. So that means our products are working and they love them and they keep ordering them because the results they're getting. Now, so we get paid a percentage on the BV from every single customer. It's a little over 6%, like 6.3%. Now, when a customer gets started, let me just see how I want to explain this. So what we have is something called a cycle. That's our commission. Okay, so it's called a cycle. And a cycle, it's a binary, so we have 2 teams, but we call it a new generation binary. There's just really nothing like it out there. In fact, Jim Coover said we couldn't have created this binary because the software didn't exist 5 years previous to the company. So in a binary, you're going to have a left team and a right team. And in order to get your commission, which is called a cycle, you need 300 in BV coming through one team and 600 in BV coming through the other team. And remember, everybody's just customers or using their own product. Now, here's the thing. On both teams, we get paid on unlimited depth. There's no blocking. There's no breakaways. And let me just explain a breakaway real quick. I have a gal that's on my team. She never hit a six-figure income, but she was in another company for 21 years. And a breakaway is when you build a team to a certain size, then they take them out of your organization and put them like in a holding tank. When they do that, you're not getting paid any more percentages on anything that that team's doing. And what they want you to do is to create 6 of those, and then they'll pay you a small commission of all 6 of them, which would then bring you in a lot of money. And they're working their other organizations while that one's been taken away. So she's only done 2 in 21 years. So 2 teams were taken away from her. She never created the 6, so she never got any commissions from those teams that she built. Companies do that on purpose. Kathy Cooper said the reason, we said we had enough with this industry after the 3rd company pulled the rug out. She said it's corporate greed, it's lack of experience, it's not knowing what the field is experiencing and what they're putting into this. It's lack of long-term vision and just corporate stupidity. So all of these things make up the dynamics of what we don't like about the industry. And the breakaways and blocking and these types of things are built into the system so that the company is going to get more of the return in their pocket rather than putting that into the associates' pockets. Kathy Cooper said, John Anderson, we will come out of retirement and do this thing if we can create more 6- and 7-figure income earners out of our associates than any other company in history and create the most generous compensation plan. And John said, I don't care. I just want to make products that I know how to make that are going to change people's lives. So the 300 and the 600 can come from either side. Whatever side gets 600 first, it's going to take it from that side. So you're truly getting paid 6% on both legs. Now, let me go through and let's go to the top of the company. And the very first person that was enrolled, so this is associate number 1 right there. Very first person enrolled in the company. Now, I'm going to just draw some things out real quickly here, but everybody's going to have their own right team and left team. So this person's going to have a right team and a left team. So in the computer, you just enroll them on your left team and your right team. That makes you a consultant right there. That takes you from a customer to a consultant. So this person is now a consultant, and in order to qualify for that 6% on everybody, you need to be ordering 100 BV, and they need to be ordering 100 BV. But they made it even easier. They actually, let me do this. If you had 2 people ordering 50, you're now qualified as a consultant instead of having to have 1 person. So if these 2 people on the left side were ordering a bottle of isogenesis, this person's now a consultant. And this person personally enrolled them, okay? So now they're going to get paid 6% on unlimited depth on everybody. So let's just grow this organization out, okay? So as we're going down, left team, right team, this person's going to say, oh, I want to become a consultant, and he enrolls 1 on the left and 1 on the right. Now his left and right teams are growing. This person says, oh, I want to do that too. They start building. They enroll another person down here. This person wants to do it. And you can see how all these legs are going to start breaking off. And the right team, let's not forget about them. We'll just enroll some more people down here, but this person wants to do it. Now this person really wants to do it. They're going to build a huge team. They go on to become a millionaire in the company. And they have all kinds of people that are sharing the products as well. And it just keeps going, and it keeps going. Now let's just say that's been going on for 10 years for this person at the very top. So we'll make a dividing line because there's no way I could fit 10 years worth of associates. That would be over 100,000 associates. So let's say on the top of this 10 years, there's 100,000 associates. This person at the top is getting the BV up into their banks from every single one of them. Okay, so I'm just going to put money there for BV. The company's paying them 6% on all 100,000. Well, the company's banking the BV on all 100,000 people. Now, we have person number 100,001 just gets enrolled below this line. So we're at 10 years and 1 day. When this person orders one bottle of isogenesis, let's just say, that's 54 BV, that BV is going to go up and pay every single person in the upline that BV, and it's going to end up in the person at the top of the company is going to get that 54 BV in their bank. It pays on unlimited depth. There's no blocking. See, some companies would block that whole team, and that could be tens of thousands of people. There's no blocking. Let's just get rid of that. There's no breakaways. So when you understand the power of this leverage, it's like our number one income earners. They've been in just barely over 6 years. They're now the number one income earners in Isogenics. And they said, you know, we were just at Top Achievers in Maui, and the topic came up in the presentation that they had, and she stood up and she said, you know, we don't really personally enroll too many people. We work with our team and help them. And so now they're leveraging enrollments by working with people who could put other people's butts in the seats, so to speak. So let's just say down on this side, on the left side, these number one income earners reach down to somebody who's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people down in their group, and they could work with that person who's really building the business. Because any BV that's created from this person's going right up into their bank, and they're getting paid on that.
And
Does that make sense?
Dave?
Yes.
And that starts over like every month. So when the new auto ships come in and that, I mean, so that's really the power of a strong...
It doesn't start over every month. The BV just accumulates and accrues like rollover minutes with the cell phone. So we get paid every week. And if you have BV left in one of the banks, it stays there.
So then new BV that comes in the new month is just continually getting banked and banked and banked and banked until you get paid on it.
You're seeing that you're getting paid every day. Because you can see that BV accruing. You can see your cycles that are resulting. And so people say, well, our company does that too. But when it comes down to it, no, they don't. You know, they're either 6 wide, they have breakaways, or they pay only on the weak leg, whatever the case might be. So how does our company pay everybody? How do they not run out of money? If this person's 101,000 people down in the group and everybody's getting 54 BV that qualifies by being on 100 BV and auto ship, how is the company paying all of them, all of that, and they're not running out? Here's the part that we never really talk about too much, and people don't really understand the dynamics of the power of this compensation plan because we don't go as deep as this. And really you asking the question is, how do we do this? Because we really do this. Carrie and I are getting the BV. We're at 290,000 people in our group right now. And it's growing at the rate of about 500 to 800 a week. And that happened this last week while we were on vacation for an entire week. It was still happening. So Here's how the company does it.
Oh, gosh.
All right, let's just go to that. Let's take that top person, number one person that was enrolled in Isogenics, and his team goes down. And it's just going to go down a lot of people, right? And then we hit that 10-year mark. So let's put that here. And I came in, let's just say, after that 10 years. And I'm enrolled down here. Now, what happens is, as my group has grown, 290,000 people, they allow you to bank the BV on your right and your left on unlimited depth. Now, but they don't pay you on unlimited depth in that one organization. Let me just explain it. That kind of sounds like, oh, okay, here we go. No, it's even more exciting as I explain this. So when I make $13,500 a week, which is approximately $54,000 a month and $704,000 a year, it doesn't matter how much more BV is being accumulated down here. They're not going to pay me more than this $13,500 a week.
So
right? Does that make sense?
Now it comes out at that. Okay.
Now, we have somebody in our downline, Emily. She's like 27 years old. They're making over $2 million a year. So how are they making over $2 million a year if they're only going to pay you up to $704,000? So Jimmy Smith, who's now 90 years old, building the business, he looks younger than when I met him 13 years ago, you guys. And I have a picture of him in my presentation.
I love him.
And yeah, he's amazing. He's not even the #1 income earner anymore. He used to be, but Lynn and Michael passed him up, and they've only been in 6 years, where Jimmy's been in 16, right? So here's how that happens. When Jimmy, this is called a maxed out center. So no matter how much bigger the company gets, you're maxed out at $13,500 a week. Now, Jimmy said, I'm not going to, what they do is they give you a reentry when you max, actually before you max out a center, when you hit 10,000 a week, they'll let you have a reentry. A reentry goes right here, right above you. Okay, so that's my new position. And Jimmy said, I'm not going to work my new position. I'm going to support my team. I mean, I'm like in my 80s. You know, I'm living a dream life. I'm going to support the people that made this life for me. I'm not going to start a new organization and abandon them. And the company said, Jimmy, come into the office. We're going to fly you in. We need to explain something to you. You will bless those associates' lives more, and you will bless the company more by working your reentry. So let me go back to the upline here. I'll get orange. So there's hundreds of thousands of people above me, right? And I maxed out my first center about 7 years ago. Carrie and I did. So we've been getting paid $13,500 a week from that center, not enrolling anybody there. Okay? Yeah, let that sink in.
Let that sink in, people.
Yeah.
I can see it sinking
No
in.
qualifying each week, no qualifying at the end of the month, no inventory that I didn't sell that I better hurry up and sell. We order more than we need to be ordering. If I just ordered 2 of these, we would be getting paid that. Okay? So everybody, I'm going to put this in red. If I'm maxed out, I'm on one leg of everybody above me. So let's just make this easy and just use these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. So this would be the right leg, and we're going to make it easy instead of diverting off in different legs. Everybody in my upline is going to be maxed on that leg because they have more than enough BV coming through that one leg, because I have enough BV coming through both to be making $13,500. And they don't need that. They only need 2/3 of that to max out their leg on the one side. So everybody above me is maxed out because me and my team max them out with all the BV that's coming up to them. So they never have to put anybody on their right leg ever again to make $13,500 a week. Because remember, they're getting paid on all of these people that are in my downline on both legs are coming up and feeding them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because remember, we get paid on unlimited, and it's not just me, it's everybody above me. So my actions and my team have blessed everybody above us. Now, could I be making more than those people above me? Yeah, I could be building my other leg, my second leg, faster than they're building their leg. And could you believe that there's actually some people that are not even building their leg, and there's millions of BV coming up every week? Like Lenny Evans, his sponsor, Lenny's the 34th millionaire, I believe. His sponsor quit. She doesn't even have a membership anymore. And all of that BV that Lenny created was going up to her.
What?
All right, so now here's what the company said to Jimmy Smith. Because that's important to understand that. Once you start building, everybody in your upline is blessed, even though you don't even know who they are and they don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
The computer does, because it's calculating the BV and it's showing them what's going in to their bank. So if you get a builder, all of a sudden, people in the upline are going like, whoa, who got enrolled? Who's enrolling people? You know, because they're seeing their BV just going cha-ching, 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 cha-ching in that one leg. So now, this is what the company told Jimmy. When you start building your re-entry leg, all the volume from your 2 teams in your first position is going to go up into the right bank. So Jimmy never has to enroll anybody on the right leg because his first position already maxed out that leg in his new position. And they said,
Oh, Dave.
what's that?
So essentially, once you've maxed out your first position, then you only ever are really focusing on building one leg after that.
One leg. And you don't need the 300, 600 anymore. You only need the 300 because remember, the company's going to take the 600 from the side that has it first. And you have millions of BV coming up through your maxed out center into this right leg right here. So you always have more than 600, way more than 600. So every time you get 300, you're going to cycle instead of getting 900 on your reentry.
Mm-hmm.
And that can happen in your original position once you have a builder who just starts going and they're creating more volume than you need on that right leg. That happened to me in less than a year. I have not enrolled anybody in this right leg after my first year.
Oh my God.
So that's getting paid $13,500 a week but not showing up for work, right? So now on the new reentry, watch this. This is really important because we didn't have bonuses like we have today in Isogenics. Because the company said, Jimmy, you'll bless the associates' lives more by working your reentry. Everybody that starts coming in, Jimmy's building his left reentry now, and he only needs to focus on the one leg. And then there's builders that start coming in, they start building their legs. And there's all kinds of legs starting to sprout out. So now you only need a third of the BV for another $13,500 a week. Now, all that BV that's coming up to you isn't going to anybody above you because they're already maxed out from your first position on that leg. So this BV that you're now generating in your new position, instead of paying people above you, is going to go back to the company. And the company is going to receive much more without paying the upline commissions because you've already maxed them all out. You can re-enter as many times as you feel like it. And here's the thing, you already know how to do it. You already know how to coach, train, and lead people. So you can re-enter again and again. I think Emily Vavra, where they're probably closer to 2.5 million a year. I think they're just starting their 4th re-entry. You can re-enter as many times. And they're not even the number 1 income earners. That's in my downline though. In our downline.
They've been in how long? They've been in like 4 years, maybe?
What's that?
They've been in for like 4 years at Everest?
About 6 years.
They came in the same time Lynn Hagedorn did about? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And so we're the number 25 income earners in the company. I think we have 4 people in our downline that are making more than us in our organization. So hopefully that really helps to see the generosity of the company and the leverage they're allowing you. So even on my re-entry, I'm going to be enrolling people personally, but those aren't the people I have to work with. I could start working with this person right here because that person's ready to go. They're ready to put the butts in the seats and I can go do a presentation and leverage their putting people in front of me and do the presentation. That's why Lynn Hagedorn says it's way more effective for us to be the teachers and the trainers for our team's prospects. There's way more leverage in it. So now let me show you one other thing. In Isogenics, these are real stories. They shared this at an executive training before our convention. It's Janie and Kelly and Tyler Dickerhoof and Janie Snellgrove. Janie had been in about 7 years. She said, yeah, I had about 4,000 conversations. And these are real conversations where you're following up with the person. It's not talking to a room and there's 100 people in there. It's where you've literally had a conversation, sent them to a tool, and followed up. The tool could be sending them to a video, having them on a 3-way call with your upline, talking to them one-on-one at an expo, bringing them to a presentation or some kind of event. That's the kind of conversations we're talking about here. Okay, 4,000 conversations. And a lot of people think this is a get-rich-quick program. It's not. You could get wealthy, but it's not. It's still going to take a lot of effort. It's simple, but that's not easy. Why would she go out and have 4,000 conversations when her numbers are she only enrolled 200 out of those 4,000? That's less than 1%. That's 3,800 no's because she's followed up with every single one of these. Now, out of the 200 that she enrolled, we know there's going to be some who quit, some who just used the product, and there's going to be a small percentage of them that pick up the business and stay with it. How many picked up the business and started doing it full time with her? 6. Okay. What we're not seeing here, though, the networkers know this. Here's the thing about the Isagenix compensation plan and what I just showed you on the iPad is that there's some unseen numbers here that are unparalleled to any other company. What we're not seeing is who did those customers talk to that didn't become full-time in Isagenix? And did they share it with somebody who did end up becoming full-time? Or shared it with somebody who shared it with somebody who did become full-time? We're not seeing that number. And out of the 6 that Janie enrolled, out of the 200, how many people did they talk to? How many conversations did they have? How many did they enroll? And how many top producers do they have? We don't see that here, but you know from me showing you the compensation plan, Janie's going to get paid on all of that. So it's like that under the radar stuff that's happening that would cause a person to go out and have 4,000 conversations. And a lot of networkers know that and they'll go do it, but the vehicle that they're in isn't as generous as Isagenix. Her top month is $82,000 in 1 month. How many people are on her team that generated that 82,000? 45,000 people. And they're all ordering product that's going up into her banks and she's cycling, and it doesn't matter that she didn't enroll them and that they're generations away from her, that she doesn't even know who they are. Those are the numbers that we don't see. The networker sees that in their head when they start networking, but unfortunately the companies pull the rug out from under them. The compensation plans have things in them where they're flawed, like the one I was telling you about with the gal that did it for 21 years, only had 2 breakaways. Like if I knew that up front, there's no way I would pursue that. That's like being penalized. And she became a millionaire in Isagenix and is a multiple 6-figure income earner annually. So now look at these numbers here. It just depends on the people and their networking skills and who they know. So Kelly and Tyler, they're in the top, I think they're in the top 10 right now. 2,750 conversations, and these are real conversations. See, a lot of people think they can talk to 10 people and they're all their family and close friends, and they're going to make this thing work. I'm here to tell you those are unrealistic expectations. You're not going to talk to 10 people with nobody close friends. There's no way. So you've got to learn skills. You got to get out of your own way. You got to get out of the box. You got to learn how to talk to strangers, right? And we all know how to do that, so we mentor each other in that. But the networkers who already know that, like Kelly and Tyler, how many did they personally enroll? About 200. So their percentages are higher, but look at how many top producers out of their personally enrolled. I'm not talking about in their entire organization. They doubled what Janie did out of her personally enrolled. So how many people are they talking to, and how many people did they enroll in Kelly and Tyler's downline, and how many top income earners did they have in their organizations that are just, do you see the geometric progression of that unseen number? $199,000 in 1 month.
Oh my gosh.
McKenna's like, oh.
How many people in their group? 68,000.
Wow.
So they have a lot less attrition. They're just great at making sure people are getting trained up. That's why I like going over the science. My average retention is much higher than the average in the company, because the way I teach and really teach people how to fish rather than give them a fish when it comes to the products and when it comes to the compensation plan. So again, if we go back to now, those unseen numbers are the things that are happening in your organization that you're getting paid on unlimited depth. What you'll see in your website is how many people are in your group and how much volume is coming through each leg every day. In the beginning, that will be very easy to monitor because you don't have very many people. But in 6 months, you could have over 500 people, 1,000 people, and now you're having people enrolled that you don't even know who they are. You're just seeing your BV go up. That's happening under the radar, and Isagenix is paying you on all of it. Why? Because they want to create more 6- and 7-figure income earners than any other company in history.
Wow.
That's awesome, Dave. You know what I love listening to this too is, well, everything about it just makes so much more sense. And I love the fact that everything you're doing is helping the person who's helping the person, but all of your customer volume. So everybody who doesn't enroll or who says, you know what, I just want to buy the product from you, I'd love to get on the product, all of that volume is all in there too. And so you're looking at, I mean.
Yes, and I mean, in fact, so I'm enrolled under Dave. We don't build my spot as a business. I'm enrolled as a customer. But I order every month. So if you order every month, if you're on auto ship, and I do because I love the way the products make me feel because we were coached on the products, right? I have over 86 million BV under me. I'm just
in one leg.
In one leg, just waiting for me to decide to jump in and do the business. Well, I did decide I'm, doing it somewhere else. But so, I mean, and you don't have to agree to work the business to benefit from the compensation plan. So
customers will start accumulating that BV even before they decide they want to.
Yeah. So you can look in there and you can call someone and say, I just wanted to let you know, you've got 86 million BV here waiting for you. If you have 2 friends you want to share this with, I can help you earn some cash. And that there are some people that are now top income earners that came into the business that way. And the other cool thing that I love about this is you don't have to be a networker to make this compensation plan work. Dave and I, our numbers, I mean, he was a mechanic and I was a stay-at-home mom. We weren't networkers. He hated talking to people. Like, he would get mad at me if I talked on the phone. It would make him have a headache because he didn't feel good. And, I mean, we didn't talk to people. And then, so we talked to, when we decided we wanted to do this, 5,000 people, enrolled 300, I think. But our top producers, we had 1 in our first reentry.
1. In our whole organization. Only 1.
Top builder. But the thing is that Dave had a great sponsor and he also has a lot of insight. He was able to look down and see, you know what, but this person, I didn't enroll her, but she's going for it. So he linked arms with her and began training her and doing presentations for her and helped her build. And then we had another that his friend enrolled, but Dave worked with her. I mean, we just had people that you can look down and see who your people are that are working, that want to do the business, and link arms with them. So you don't have to be a great networker. You don't have to know everybody. I mean, you do want to talk to people because that's how you're going to find, your people. But it's a teamwork type thing. We call it. They say it's one team. Isagenix is one team, and it's really cool how it works that way.
Something really powerful too about this whole generosity. Somebody in my upline on my first position enrolled that person that became the second youngest millionaire in our company, and she now makes a 7-figure income annually. So somebody in my upline. The company allows you to have the BV from who's being enrolled from your upline, who you enroll, and who anybody in your downline enrolls, obviously, because they're in your downline. I mean, where is a company generous like that? It's just not happening. So consultant really is, like, we hit number 13 income earners in the company as a consultant rank. You could become a consultant rank in one day. I enrolled Carrie, and then we enrolled her brother. Became a consultant. So as a consultant, we hit number 13 in the entire company. Now there's other ranks and other bonuses that we're not going to go into in this video. We'll do it in another one, but it puts a lot of money in your pocket up front. This is something they added because of these reentries and having more income coming in. That's basically disposable income. We have no debt in our company. It's not owned by a corporation. It's owned by the founders. And they said we have no exit strategy. And so they added way more bonuses up front. When the economy went down in 2008, they put $19 million in upfront bonuses on top of the cycle pay, this right here. So I had somebody that was in Dennis Schwartz for 6 months. At 6 months, he made about $24,000 in that 1 month. There was no way he had enough people in his group to create $24,000. He got it off of the rank advancements and the bonuses. So, and we're going to go over that in another video. I just wanted to separate this so it's not so overwhelming and really long, putting them both together. But the BV is the passive, residual, and leveraged income, which is so powerful. This is what gives you freedom. And we'll end with this and then answer any other clarifying questions or comments. Jim Coover, one of the founders of the company, said, coming out on stage, do we create passive residual income or what? Because there's no selling. You do not have to sell a product in order to qualify. And as you're getting paid on everybody, they're using consumable products and they're giving them results. And so they're going to keep reordering. That's freedom. The more people in your group and the more money you're making, the less you have to do. And even in networking, the corporate world, for sure, you're going to take on a lot more stress. I never took on being a service manager or things like that because I knew that was going to be way more stress, way more volatility, putting fires out all day. So I didn't want to take the more money for the more stress. Even in networking, the more money you make, the more stress it could add. In Isogenics, it's like this position right here. We haven't done anything on that organization for 7 years, and they keep paying us $13,500 a week. That's freedom. Now, what are you going to do with that?
That's awesome.
Hey, Dave, can I ask a couple questions really fast just to clarify? So because I do come from the land of complicated compensation plans, so my brain is going, okay, when I come in, how do I get started? I know you're not going to go through ranks and stuff. And what I love is the whole thing of that it really is on cycles and volume, which is so awesome. But Carrie said she is on one of your legs and she's a customer, but she's on auto ship. So my question is this: how do you enroll? And then does a customer have to enroll a certain way to show up on your legs? Or if they're just on auto ship customer, they still show up? For example, if I signed up and then I signed up 2 customers, one on my right and one on my left, does that make me a consultant?
Okay, everybody shows up no matter who enrolls them. Somebody in your upline enrolls somebody under you, you'll see a name in a little square. It just starts to show.
And it doesn't matter, they're all the same, right?
Yeah, they're all the same. Customer, they don't even have to be on auto ship. Right?
Okay.
Anytime that you can order. And if somebody stops ordering, it doesn't affect anybody, just that person, right? Everybody below you, that person, you still get paid. Even on the people they enrolled, if they quit, you're still going to get paid on everybody.
Awesome.
Okay, and you'll see everybody in your down. We could go down and click on all 290,000 one at a time and see everybody's name. We're not going to do that, but I could, because it shows everybody. And in the beginning, you'll watch and you'll track and you'll see people and you'll see the names and you'll know everybody that's in your group. But there's a certain point where you're going to be like, I'll bookmark that person and I'll go and check them out every so often and see what's going on in their organization. So yes, you'll see everybody. When the reason why we enrolled Carrie and her brother Tim was because that would make sure that I was always active as a consultant, that we were always gonna qualify from what happened below that. So
because you asked the question, do you just enroll 2 people? Your 2 people need to be ordering 100 BB every month.
Or 3 people and 2 of them ordering 50 each.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right.
So
As long as you're accumulating 100 on each side.
Okay.
And they have to keep that up.
Okay.
So the more people you enroll, the more eggs you have in your basket, right? If one stops ordering, it's all right. You have other people that are still ordering. That's why we enrolled Carrie and Tim, because we were in control of those and not our customers. We couldn't make them order. So if they stopped, we're still eligible for the 6%.
So for example, if someone comes into the business and they enrolled 5 customers on their right side and 5 customers on their left side, they still would qualify for some of those bonuses and ranks and stuff, right? Even though those people might not be builders, they still have enrolled 5 on their right, 5 on their left, or 1 on the right.
Yeah, as long as those 5 people on the one side are accruing 100 BV a month, they have to be personally enrolled at 100 BV on each side, then yeah.
Okay.
So the first bonus, which is a really small one, but they didn't give it to us when I started. This is something they're giving now. When you hit consultant, they'll give you a $50 bonus. And the person that enrolled you, so the enroller, they get $100. Mm-hmm. So every time somebody becomes a consultant, they're paying out $150. I mean, that's better than a poke in the eye. They didn't used to give it, right? Now, the next one from there, because you want to create duplication. And so the next big bonus where you could make $500 in your first week if you wanted, your first day if you wanted, you're personally enrolled, so you enroll person number 1 and person number 2, get them to consultant where they enroll 2 people, and you'll make $500. That's included with the 50. So you'd make $500 just doing that.
So those are the upfront rank bonuses that you're talking about people getting before they start to really cycle and get money from the downline.
Yeah. And if you ordered a minimum order of the 100 BV right here, that's about $150 plus your tax and shipping, but you just made $500 by enrolling 2 and they enrolled 2, you more than doubled your money back if you wanted in the first day or the first week. But they give you 60 days to do that. There's a time limit to it.
Okay.
And then there's more rank advancements and bonuses that go along with you just doing that again. Enroll another person, number 3, get them to consultant. Every time you do that, you're going to get $100. But the next rank advancement, we'll go over that in another video. But then there's the executive bonus pools that pay monthly. We have product introductory bonuses on packs where they're paying daily. I enrolled somebody with the pack the other day, and I got $100 the very next day.
Awesome.
So they're throwing money at us, you guys. They're throwing money at us, literally.
Daily pay, weekly pay, monthly pay, and do they still do yearly pay or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get paid a lot of times with Isagenix, a lot of ways, a lot of times. But it is the passive. This passive residual leveraged income, the cycles that Dave just showed, is what allows us to go on vacation. And, you know, Dave will talk about, we went to Knott's Berry Farm, we bought the food, we bought the tickets, and we left Knott's Berry Farm having earned more money than we spent.
Yeah.
And that's what allows Dave to be in an accident and be in a wheelchair for months and still be able to live the life that we're used to living. Because
our lifestyle was not affected in any negative way.
Not at all. So it's powerful. It's solid, it's powerful, and it's real. That's the thing. We aren't networkers. We're nobody special. I still have to pinch myself every single day because this works. And that's the thing. When he got in his accident, somebody came to me and said, are you guys going to be okay financially? And I started to bawl. Probably scared her at first, like, no. I'm like, oh my goodness, yes. And I hadn't even thought about money when he got hurt. I didn't ever have to.
I didn't either. It wasn't until you told that story that I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we can still.
And I still cry about it. I mean, it is seriously, this is the way life should be. It's people helping people live the life of their dreams. All of us are living the lives of our dreams just because we're willing to talk to people and share a gift that we've been given. So.
And financially, we're covered, right? Our lifestyle, we don't have to work another day in our lives. But why are we working so enthusiastically? Why are we so engaged? I do a lot of presentations. I love doing that. That's passionate. I'm very passionate about it. But it's the transformations that are happening in other people's lives, which very rarely happen, even in networking, where it's able to be duplicated. Like the people that are on stage and that they're spotlighting and they're the new, you know, they're rank advancing, and I don't even know who they are anymore. There's always new people that they're putting on the stage that are just come into the company because their stories are so inspiring. Why use the old ones and have the old people up there all the time when there's new, fresh ones coming in? And it's still happening to this day on an unprecedented level.
I think that, I mean, there's so many things that Kyle and I are excited about this, and we're so excited to share it with, you know, our family and we've watched you guys, and so, you know, we're so excited to have your support and be able to show this to other people and be in a plan that is doing this and that is doing it for all these people that, you know, we know personally now. So, you know, watching you guys and seeing your story is just super powerful. Do you guys?
And we're excited. And we're excited to get healthy and try the products. We've heard so many good things about the products. We want to, you know, get healthy and lose weight and start feeling better.
We want to look like you guys. Holy flippin' heck.
To tell you the truth, like if the money was gone, I would still do this. I would still use the products every day. You know, I have a picture of me holding our youngest son, Carter, when he was 2, and I look like his grandma. And now I hold my grandbabies, and I look like I could be their mom.
You do.
And it's not just me that notices it. It's everyone else is like, oh my gosh, you're his grandma, you know? So it's the coolest. And I can walk around I can play with them. I didn't play with my own kids. I was too tired. You know what I mean? And now I'm like a grandma, and I'm having way more fun playing with my grandbabies. So it's really cool.
And to be able to facilitate that in other people's lives, we have a huge work. Like, there's no finish line to that. No matter how much income I make, Jimmy Smith has made over $50 million in Isagenix, and he's still doing presentations at 90 years old.
Well, we're just glad to have you guys' support and to be able to have you to do the presentations to help us, because that's one thing that I think a lot of people, when they come in at first, they're like, well, who's our upline? Well, we have you guys, which is so exciting to Kyle and I.
Yeah.
And
We're excited to work with you guys. This is a dream. You guys have been on our vision board. We love you guys so much.
We're excited.
We're
Thanks.
so
I love you guys too. So thanks for doing this, Dave. This has been awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks,
All right,
Dave.
thanks you guys.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Dave.
Carrie.
Thanks, Carrie.
You're welcome.